A Texas man suspected of killing, dismembering, and burning 3 people told police he was being called to commit sacrifices. So says the affidavit. Look at those model citizens go. We'll be right back on Keep It P Podcast.
Savage Media.
Uh-oh, out of the darkness into the light. You know who it is. It's Jay Lava and Keep It P Podcast, where we take the news, situations, everyday occurrences, and indeed we show how one could have and could not have been keeping it P. Not trying to tell you what to think, trying to show you how to think when you find yourself mixed up in an anti-black, racist war propaganda machine being perpetuated by the lamestream media. Then you got the Democrats and the Republicans, both bipartisan, super saying like 94-1 on the crime bill. That, you know, the crime bill that was just passed that was targeting y'all, even though it was only 200 Asian hate crimes and 2,000 black hate crimes. You know, even though it was like tenfold. You know, like that bill that they got signed and that money that they had got from your boy Big Daddy Biden. We ain't even talking about the 86 million that he spent on people like this in La Quintas down at the border. We ain't talking about that. But anyway, I got a guy. You want to come join us? Maybe sprinkle him with a little game, maybe even perhaps even.
Hashtag these nuts. Let's start out with that. And that's for y'all being hypocrites on the R. Kelly attacking your own people. Why we ain't got no black leaders? Because y'all hang them all yourself. That's why.
Very good point.
You want to know who I am? Von Savage Media in the place to be. Sucker MCs. Self-hug, self-love. You need it.
Yeah.
The man thought that was corny, but what's even more corny is if we let the culture die. What's even more corny than that is going against your own people and being off code. What's even more corny than that is saying Eminem's #1 in hip hop. The more people I talk to, it's hard pressed that he makes it into your top 50. Think about it.
I even hate that that's even a topic. Excuse me, y'all, but here we go. This model citizen that we got on your screen is a Texas man suspected. He ain't suspected of murdering 3 people whose dismembered bodies were discovered in a dumpster last week. Confessed to killing by telling investigators he had an in-depth knowledge of the Bible and believed that he was being called to commit sacrifices, said the police. The man also confessed to committing at least 2 other quote-unquote sacrifices prior to the triple murder. Now let's back that up a little bit. This news outlet said he was suspected of doing it right after they just told you that he said he did it. I just want y'all to pay attention to that. His name is Jason Allen Thornburg, 41, more like 61, but who's counting? Was taken into custody Monday evening and charged with multiple counts of capital murder. Okay, yeah. They gave just straight out capital murder. That's a change. The Fort Worth Fire Department discovered 3 bodies after responding to a call about a dumpster fire outside a business located on the 3100 block of Bonnie Drive approximately at 6:15 a.m. Now notice how they put the drive and the block and all of that when they want to, but otherwise.
Right, but the last story, we didn't know nothing. What
city was in? None of that.
But you told us where the church was.
Damn, they gave the address. Investigators with the Fort Worth PD homicide unit were called to the scene and identified one of the 3 burned and heavily dismembered bodies as David LaRasse, 42, after initially stating that the other 2 bodies as being unknown, a child and an adult female. Police on Tuesday said that both remaining victims were adult female who he believed had already been identified. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, investigators obtained surveillance footage from the camera located across the street from the dumpster. The video shows a male driving a dark SUV pull up next to the dumpster before it was set ablaze. The man can allegedly be seen. What you mean allegedly? Either you seen it or you didn't.
Or you did. Oh my goodness.
The man can allegedly be seen on the evening of September 21st making multiple trips from the trunk to the dumpster, each time the dumpster containing large containers into the dumpster, then returning to the vehicle. He alleged returning to the dumpster just after midnight on September 22nd and to deposit the contents of several other large containers into the dumpster before setting it on fire and driving away. Using other surveillance footage from surrounding areas, investigators identified the vehicle as being registered to Thornburg, who the authorities described as at the press conference as an Indian American male. Well, that's a surprise there. Indian American, and look how they wanted to make sure that you knew it too. He's an Indian American male who was recently investigated for suspicious deaths of his roommate on May 21st. Police soon learned, well, isn't that just still the complexion for the connection?
Complexion for the protections.
Police soon learned that Thornburg was staying at the Mid-City Inn in Tarrant County. Surveillance footage showed from the motel that Thornburg loading several large containers into his Jeep while wearing what appears to be full body suit, which is worn in a job that involves drywall, paint, and hazmat cleaning. The police said the times to the distance to a dumpster coincide with the surveillance footage of the dumpster. One of the motel residents recognized a photo of him and told investigators that he'd been staying there for 2 to 3 days last week, and the resident said that he also seen a woman recently staying in the room too. 3 detectives located Thornburg at the residence in Arlington where he was performing electrical work. Authorities said that he voluntarily agreed to speak with the detectives and allegedly confessed to murdering the victims and storing them in his room before the fire. Okay, it's almost over. I just want to see how long they was going with this. Let me see. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So they got a little trauma porn for you. Thornburg describing having an in-depth knowledge of the Bible and believed that he was being called to commit sacrifices. He allegedly told detectives that he showed up to his room 5 days later and the bodies were discovered at the dumpster. Thornburg believed that David needed to be sacrificed. The affidavit stated he sliced David's throat and then cut him into pieces in the bathroom.
Here's the trauma porn. Okay, so you guys do know how to do it.
Yeah,
okay.
Thornburg.
It's not the last article.
Nah, none of that.
They must got some money or something.
Yeah, Thornburg initially hid the remains of the room in a trash bag before obtaining the Rubbermaid tubs to store them in. Detectives also asked him about other victims found in the dumpster. He allegedly said the small Hispanic female he knew came to his room 2 days earlier and he killed her. Boom. Is this one of them rooms that Biden is paying for?
Look, Winters.
Thornburg said that he sacrificed her by cutting her throat and dismembering her body and also storing her remains in the storage tubs. Per the affidavit, 2 days later, an additional female came by the room. He knew her, redacted. Thornburg described initially trying to stab her, but said he was ultimately had to strangle her, cut her body into pieces, and also stored her remains in tubs. Detectives said Thornburg similarly admitted to sacrificing his roommate, Mark Jewell, 61, who was killed in a suspicious fire in May. Thornburg said that the sacrifice of Jewell by slitting his throat, and then he uncapped the natural gas line, lit a candle in the room, the affidavit states, and bailed and dipped. Thornburg sacrificed his girlfriend in Arizona, who detectives said was an American Indian, whose family had reported her missing. He's just sacrificing everybody. And that's the end of the story. That's it.
Wow.
Tell me what's going on here. What are we missing? I mean, short of him being in the youth pastor, you know, in the Glee Club.
Right. Wow.
Just short of that. I mean, it was
doing exorcisms and carrying ons.
They wanted to make sure that they kept on the exorcism thing, and they're setting up the crazy plea.
Yes.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he tried some tribal shit, like some tribal crazy plea shit.
Yeah, that's part of our native culture.
Okay.
And I got freedom of religion and a freedom of religious expression. And that's part of his religious expression is sacrifices to his ancestor gods.
Man, you can get that BS out of here. I'm not trying to hear that, dude. That is a bunch of malarkey. But it's you know what you can take from this is that the dominant society chooses when they want to let people jump in and out the club, and you can only jump in and out the club if you got the complexion for the protection.
Period.
But also, if you're not, you know, the real thing, you can be smacked around and, you know what I'm saying, beat up on a little bit, and you better accept it, because you can soonly be, you know, done like the darkies, and you wouldn't like that.
Yeah, we'll put you back.
Put you back out there like the darkest now, boy. Anyway.
We know the truth about you, boy. We'll send you back. You ain't really one of us now. Latino X. You ain't one of us now.
Nah, he's a
pretend, boy.
He's a Washington Redskin. Washington Redskin. He's the dude from what's that show? With the Redskin, where the dude was his son is an Indian, and he don't know that the dude was John Redcorn. It was that song with the Boomhauer, what is it called? I forgot that song. That cartoon. Yeah, that cartoon type joke. King of the Hill. There you go. That's it. You're pretty smart there, Jasper. All right, y'all. 4 words: love, peace, with the blessings on top now. With the Jackson on the back now. You can't say the Maloha without the Jackson now, boy.
Go get a shirt. Join us on Patreon tonight.
That's right. Come holla at me now.
You ain't got the money yet. Fuck you think you is, man? Motherfucking Ron O'Neal or something? What you gonna do? I'm supposed to be scared now because you got a pistol, motherfucker.
I got the PayPal, Cash App, Sally, Chime. Look, I don't play with this shit. You don't even know what I gave to this shit. Self-made with this shit. I slay with this shit. Been a lot of roads I done paved with this shit. Look, see, I don't play with this shit. You don't even know what I gave to this shit.
Kyrie with the give and go. I get it cheap for the low. More snow than the Eskimo big birdies. Taking flight, change your life in one night. By 2 a.m. if you do it right. Up late like nigga night. Small fish, big appetite. Get an extra 4 if you whip it right. Got good gas and it's light bright. Got big balls and a good pipe. One calling it night. Drake go.
He been hula hooping through loopholes, working round shit. You can count lava down, but you can't count them out, baby. Life give me lemons, I make lemon rain die. He been hula hooping through loopholes, working round shit. All of your misconceptions, you thought I would miss my blessings. Serious. All of your misconceptions, you thought I gotta go. Gotta hustle to get it. If you ain't talking business, little shawty, you trippin'. I gotta go. I really ain't got time. You can holler at me later, shawty, bang my line.
Hey, Riri.
Hey Rihanna, hey girl, how you doing? I'm into you like Trump's in the Putin. I know that might sound a little confusing. I had to say it for my own amusement. What I'm trying to say is, can we go cruising? Top down, blow some good gas, and listen to Blueprint. Maybe do something stupid. I guess that depends on you.
Brushy cream leaves, Keith, whale, premium bud. Man, I hustle in the street, but I'm a freak with the love.
Bring that ass over, tryna bring it back. I'm a big dog, tryna bring it back. I'ma slide in the way to bring it back. Let a nigga
see you get down. All I wanna do is see you move it. All I wanna do is see you get down. All I wanna do is see you move it. All I wanna do is see you get down. All I wanna do is see you move it. All I wanna do is see you get down. 2 steps, 2 steps.
Music TV. Music TV.